Hello and welcome, everybody. Very, very excited to have you here along with our presenter today. And it's so special for me to have Genaro doing this webinar because, as you can see on your screen, he is one of our trainers. Genaro teaches our professional coach program in Spanish. So we're so excited that his book came out. He's got exciting news to share with you about it. It has come live. Now, what we're here for today is to learn some of the incredible insights that are part of that book. First, a little bit of information about Genaro. He is the founder of GTC. They have done fabulous work in terms of leadership and change management with so many different organizations. He is also very involved in the martial arts, and he's going to share more about that because some of the insights that are from his book come from his experience with the martial arts. So in addition to being a trainer with us, he's also part of our business development efforts, and so very much in service to all of you. Now, as he goes through the program today, you do have a chance to ask questions. You can do that in one of two ways. One option is raise your hand. We will bring you on live and you can ask your question. The other option that you've got is you can type it into the question panel. I'll be feeding those questions to him as we go. And just a tip for all of you, this is your opportunity to take advantage of that. You've got some fabulous expertise here. Ask your questions, learn what you want to know from him. Hey, Nardo, thank you so much for being here with us. Please go ahead and take over.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Thank you very much for inviting me. This is a very exciting week and a very exciting day. This book was launched just on June 4th. And the great news that I want to share is that in just 24 hours, it became an Amazon #1 bestseller and #1 new release. So I'm very excited to share insights about the book, to share with you and have a conversation about these concepts that we train a lot in Japanese martial arts. I've been training traditional Japanese martial arts since I was 4 years old, starting with Karatedo, which is the way of the empty hand. I have trained also Iaido, which is the way of the samurai sword. It's also called as the way or the way of cutting ego, because we're training a lot in our character. How can we balance our character so we can serve better to the world, be of better service to the world. And I also have been practicing Aikido, which is the way of peace and harmony. And the reason why I'm saying this is because usually we heard about martial arts, but when we practice Japanese martial arts, we called it Budo. Budo is that conjunction of Japanese martial arts, and the book that you see in the screen, it's called Do. It's a Japanese word. It's a Japanese word that means the art, the truth, the way, or the path. It depends on the context. And that's exactly what I want to share with all of you, those insights about how to create our own path, how to create our own truth. Many times we're just walking life and we're in standby. It has happened to all of us. It has happened to me. So how many times are we really reflecting of what we really want in life? And the concept of Do has been with me almost all my life. I remember since I was a little kid how each training made me feel, and all the times that I felt until I achieved a certain level of a skill. And I see many analogies between martial arts and what happens on a martial arts studio. We called it a dojo, with what happens in our lives and what happens in organizations. So what I'm doing with this book is sharing, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with all of you, sharing those key concepts that will be easy to understand. It will be a challenge to apply it, but at the same time, it will raise our level of awareness. Um, One of the things that I talk about in this book is how to continuously train our mind, our body, and our spirit. What's our code of honor? That code of honor that it's making us make decisions. With that code of honor that we are transmitting to the people around us, especially to our when we're collaborating with other people. Um, and we all care about our truth because this book, it's about you. It's what I like about this audience is that we are with an audience of professional coaches, with master coaches, with people that know how to use coaching language, with people that have skills about powerful questions, and the book asks many of those powerful questions because it's also about how those concepts can be applied to my life, to your own truth. Um, Please feel free at any point to ask questions. But moving forward, I'm talking here about a way of life. Um, to live with Do is unique for each person because it's your own truth. The real path starts when you commit all your being to live your purpose. For example, in martial arts, people believe that the goal is to achieve a black belt. The real goal is to continue our path. To become a black belt is just part of your path. It just means that we have been long enough in our path of self-mastery to have a deeper understanding of ourselves, on how to overcome our own challenges. So that changes the approach of many people because the real goal in life is to be in that continuous path of growth. Um, as you can tell with the ideas that I'm sharing, it's about that continuous self-discovery. That's what we do when we are coaches, and that's what a coach helps us or empowers us when they are asking us questions. They are really empowering us to dig deep inside of us in order to know what's our real truth and where do we want to put our time and effort. Um, Something else that I want to share with you about this concept of Do, it's that in Japan there are many disciplines that use that Do concept. For example, Karatedo, as I mentioned before, it's the way of the empty hand. But also there is another discipline called Shodo, which is the way of calligraphy. Also Sado, which is the way of tea. And each of those disciplines, there are many more, of course, but each disciplines, we put all our being, all our efforts to continue improve in something that goes beyond the physical skill. It goes beyond because what we're really doing there, it's polishing our mind, our body, our spirit to naturally express our whole being. Many people ask me, so do I have to practice martial arts to really live my own Do? And the answer is no. There are many ways to live with Do. Many people do it through the music, playing the guitar. Many people do it painting. Many people do it. There are many ways to do it. It all depends on the intention that you're putting to your discipline. The purpose, how is that aligned with your purpose? How is that aligned with your vision, with what you really want to achieve? So it's to live with Do. It's a call of duty to take in our hands our destiny, about acting with purpose. It is the way to enlightenment, not for the fact of being enlightened, but to be one with the whole, to really merge with our circumstances. And a concept that we all know is like we all are trying to give our best effort. In Japan, that word is called gambate. And this is a very powerful concept. Even though we all know the importance of giving our best effort, sometimes it's complicated to keep our focus and motivation. We all have been there. And when we realize our possibilities and how every challenge comes with its solution, we all can attain whatever we decide. We just have to commit and never stop or give up. We can adjust our path, but never give up. Gambate implies your life is in your hands. We all can have a direct impact in our results when we believe it. So the path is continuous. And in terms of many people, when I share this concept and something that I shared in the book is that many people relate giving a best effort or even discipline with will. And to be disciplined is by far easier when we really find our passion and when we really are working every day, are waking up to live intensely that passion. So it's really you will realize that this book it's a call to action. It's a call of action, because another thing that I want to share here is it's that we all will have crises. We all will have challenges to overcome, and it's how we flow with that. It's the yin yang. How are we dealing with softness versus hardness? Knowing that when it's about balancing opposites, how we adapt to any situation and how is our capacity to flow. When something is very hard, it may break. When something is flexible, it will survive. So how flexible we are, for example, our strengths with our weaknesses, how are we balancing that? Technical skills with people skills. The concept in Chinese, it's yin yang, no? And in that weakness, strength, flexibility is key. Life is not about extremes. It is a dance of balancing opposites. And the stories, of course, this is a very brave webinar where I'm sharing these concepts. I'm really excited for sharing them with you live here. And another concept is the concept of kara, as Karatedo, no? Kara means empty. And it's also a very powerful concept in martial arts and also in Japanese culture. Kara in Japanese means empty. That's why Karatedo means the way of the empty hands. But check this out. It also means how we add value to everything we touch with our empty hands. The concept of emptiness is profound because that's the only way we can continuously learn. Once we empty our minds from what we know and leave room to the new knowledge. The concept is key. Sounds simple to understand, but it requires humility and practice to really benefit from it. For example, every time that I'm with a client, I completely let go what I know and my preconceptions about the situation. And obviously, as a coach, that's our duty. You know, it's not important, it's not relevant what we think, what we believe. It's just important how we can add value and empower our client. And this concept of kara has to be there. Why? We decide to have kara to be. We really want to kara be there because that emptiness will open a lot of opportunities and growth. At the end, it is about knowing that we are always learning and we can always learn from any person, from any situation, even from nature. Now, as I shared before, this book is a call to action. There is a tool that I developed almost 7 years ago, which is the personal strategy canvas. In just a piece of paper, our clients have been establishing their personal strategy between strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, their strategy, their code of honor, their affirmations, and what are their priorities. That helps them to be focused. This book will empower you to explore and make a profound introspection using a tool that we have used with hundreds of clients. It's proven. That's what I want to say here. You will clarify what you want, what's your code of honor, how you make decisions, what are your gifts, your flows, and how to keep you focused on your main priorities to achieve what you want. Everything in a simple piece of paper. And check this out. The real power of the personal strategy canvas is not to filling it out. It's the thinking process when you're filling it out. And the book is guiding you through that. Self-mastery. When I have been in business at least 15 years, doing consulting, coaching, training, and something, and in business we heard a lot about the concept of leadership. In martial arts, we hear a lot about self-mastery. It's about that accountability. All the concepts shared in this book will empower you to walk your own door or path of growth and self-mastery. Everything starts with each one of us. It starts with you and your openness to learn from the people around you. It starts with me and the openness to learn from the people around me. As in any sport, training, perseverance, and continuous interaction with others will really make a difference in your life. I invite you to read the book and discover how. That's the real power. And I love this concept, and I love this to share this with you, because a lot of times when we're thinking about organizational development, we're thinking about it as a whole, which is right. But what is the impact of each one of the contributors in that organization? This book invites the reader to put ego aside and focus on the real benefit for them and the people around them. Organizational though happens when everyone in the team is committed to their self-mastery. As mentioned before, this will create a ripple effect. It's like where everyone is committed to their self-mastery, and when the team like that collaborates, the butterfly effect is amazing. So imagine that every single person in your organization has a very clear idea of their personal strategy, have a very clear idea of their weaknesses, what are their gifts, how to really boost those gifts, and they are really committed to work on what makes them more happy and more productive, because they are enjoying what they do. Imagine a work team sharing the same values. Of course, we all know about organizational culture. Yes, but a lot of times it's like, okay, from that specific individual, what's the purpose? And now how can we pull all of that together in order to boost an organization? I really like to think about that compound effect. On the other day, my client that read the book is he's the CEO of an IT company. He read the book, one of the first manuscripts, and the first thing that he told me after reading it is like, Genaro, this is so powerful. This is going to be part of my induction process. All the people in my organization will read this book because I want to share the same concept with them. I was amazed with what Pepe shared with me, and that's really a dream come true. How can we create a compound effect of modern samurais that are living a code of honor? And I know that this concept may disturb some people, because it's like, well, I don't practice martial arts. I'm not even interested in them. It doesn't matter. It's about A modern samurai can be any person committed to becoming a better version of themselves every single second. A person who's always looking for new ways to balance their hard skills, I mean, their knowledge, experience, competencies, tools, with their soft skills, emotional intelligence, assertive communication, accountability, motivation, you name it. A modern samurai's continuous growth serves all the people around them. A modern samurai is an honorable person with courage, willingness to sacrifice for others, and with an unremitting discipline. A modern samurai can be from any gender, age, race, social level. They act congruent with their values and live with honor, justice, respect. They're willing to go beyond their own accomplishments and ego to give their lives to create a better world. Imagine, just imagine, a world full of modern samurais who put honor first, taking care of each other and learning from each other. What do you think about it? Well, I'm so excited to see this slide, I have to confess. Really, I was feeling goosebumps. So, I don't know,
Hey
Kathy.
Nardo, to jump in here, I think you hit on something that's so significant to people. So there are a lot of people involved in martial arts, and a lot of us who aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And having had a chance to read the book, it's obvious to me, yes, these are concepts that are applicable to us, whatever we do. And of course, as coaches, there's some true deep meaning and application for us, the insights and the awareness. So if somebody really does want to learn and apply this wisdom in their own lives and in their roles, their work, what are your thoughts on how they best go about doing that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Kathy. And I believe the most important part is acceptance. Acceptance of who we are, how we can see ourselves in the mirror and say on the mirror and really love who we are at this moment with our gifts, with our flaws, and really look deeper to our flaws so we can decide how can we decide to be better for me and for the world. Um, I feel something that I find very interesting is that I have been working with leaders from many organizations in the United States and Latin America, and many people may believe they are very successful because of their professional achievements. But in an executive coaching session, when I ask the questions, what do you want? They think a lot because they don't stop that often to think about it. They don't think that often what makes them really happy, what's really valuable in life. And I think just to give ourselves the opportunity to think about it will make profound, we will make profound changes in our lives. The book invites you to do so.
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. And it's so interesting when you said that conversation when you're coaching an executive, working with them, and talking about what makes them successful. And they tend to go to what they've done in their career. And to me, this book
Mm-hmm.
is more about who they are as a person. And that's what's
Yeah.
behind their success.
Yes, and if there's something that I really want all the audience to remember is that leadership is about self-mastery. A very effective way to live our own truth is by discovering what we really want, emptying our mind from any other ideas or preconceptions or even what society wants us to be, and freeing ourselves from ego and making sure we are continuously learning and considering information from the people around us so we can continue growing and growing.
Oh, it seems like just naming these concepts and explaining what they are gives people this meat, something they can grab onto, hold on to, and simply reflect on it. Okay, what is he saying when he says this? What does this mean? Okay, what does it mean to me? How does it apply in my life? And it, it's in many ways that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm curious. So we've got a lot of people listening in. What are your thoughts? What are your questions? I've got somebody raising their hand. I'm going to bring them in live. Okay. Hey, Nardo.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi, Kendall. How are you? Kendall, I've got you unmuted on this end. I'm not sure what your microphone setup is. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing them. I don't know if it's because they don't have a microphone. So please go ahead and type your question in. Definitely want to hear it and give Renato a chance to respond to that.
Uh-huh.
Everyone, please share if a question, if you've got it, we can pose that to Renato. And in the few minutes that we have remaining, please also share what are your thoughts, your insights, your takeaways from what you've heard thus far. And hey, Nardo, let's give them a chance to think that through and type in. And then in the meantime, if you've got something else you want to share while they're thinking and typing, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, and what I want to share is that, especially for this audience, um, just I want to share that Kathy she's my sensei in coaching. Okay, so
wow,
so
what a compliment that is! Thank you.
you are. So and what I really like about this book and being here with the Center of Coaching Certification is that you will read the book and you will see that what Kathy teaches and the team of trainers teaches is there. The concepts are there. The way the questions are created, the language. This book uses a coaching language. It's something that I haven't said in other audiences, but I can say it here. It's a book using the coaching language, and I think that may be very, very exciting for this audience and for all the coaches that are here with us.
Nice, nice. So we've got a couple things in, hoping more are coming. So one person said, this is a powerful concept that will allow me to show up authentically and as a better coach. Love it. Absolutely
That's
love it. And so on
awesome.
target. And then a question for you, hey, Nardo, please talk a little more about your personal strategy canvas.
Okay. My personal strategy canvas, when I wake up, if I tell you what's my purpose, that is guiding my decision making, it's to have a positive impact in all the people around. And that positive impact requires me to continuously grow so I can serve people better. And my code of honor is based on 6 values, which is honorability, professionalism, respect, confidentiality, continuous learning, and commitment. My decisions are made based on those concepts. Talking about my strengths, of course, I'm very organized, I'm very good at planning, but one of the weaknesses that I have been working hard all my life is explosiveness. That's why I love so much karate, because it's explosive. But that's why a discipline like Iaido, it's really helping me find more peace of mind. So what I want to share here is that I've been working with these concepts for a long time, but we're evolving. The personal strategy canvas that I created 7 years ago for myself, it's very different for the one that I created at the beginning of this year. So that's what I also love about having this book to guide you at any time that you want to polish your path of continuous growth. I don't know if I answered because, of course, my personal study canvas has more than that, but that's like a very, very brief summary. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, no. And if you have a follow-up question on that, go ahead and type it in. Hey, Nardo, we are at time. I think you've got information to share with them that shows how they can reach out to you. In the
Oh,
meantime,
thank you.
I will let everyone know when I email a link to the recording of this on YouTube, I will copy Reynardo so you'll be able to see his email address as well. That way you can reach out to him directly and have that information, and then you will have access to it because you're gonna have it on the YouTube link as well. So fabulous, fabulous. And hey, Nardo, just to let you know, we've got people saying thank you. So thank you
Oh, thank
for the
you.
presentation, for the insights, that kind of thing. I also want to go ahead and say thank you. We definitely appreciate having you here. We appreciate the insights that you've shared with all of us. So everyone that's here, thanks for coming. Thank you for all the different comments and thank yous that you're putting into that question box. We definitely appreciate that. Do watch for your link to it on YouTube, access to Reynardo, and hopefully keep on learning from these powerful insights. So thank you, Reynardo.
Thank you all. Thank you very much, Kathy.